I'm here in a hotel in Walla Walla, Washington. Walla 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 Walla. Yes, it's an actual city. Well, more like a small town in East Washington. Completely different from what Seattle looks like. So, Lufus Raccoon, one of the members of the coffee club, has been generous enough to treat me to a day of wine tasting here in Walla 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 Walla. Walla Walla. Yes. So, come join me. We're gonna go ahead and try some Washington wine. Come on, let's go on a journey. Unlike the moist rainforest of Puget Sound, eastern Washington is rather arid. Yet, for our trip, there was a constant gray cast above us. Walla Walla is one of the smaller towns known for its college, its onions, and a gateway to a handful of wineries. That last bit contributes to the affluent downtown full of tasting rooms, but we're not here for that. We are going south of the border. Did you know that most Washington wines are actually cultivated in Oregon? Me neither. We'll be trying out 5 different wineries here in Walla Walla AVA, short for American Viticultural Area. Cayuse, Valdemar, Sleight of Hand, Tranche, and Contos. Our first winery, Cayuse, was located just south of the Oregon border and is known for both its experimental wines and its exclusivity. In order to buy from them, you need to be on their mailing list, which itself has a wait list. On top of that, the winery is only open once a year for pickups and tastings, hence why we're here. Lufus just got on the list and had a few wines to pick up, and it was the first tasting party they held in over 3 years, so it was less of a tasting and more of a gala with an introductory champagne, actual champagne from France, a 2016 Les Appétits. It was crisp with a nice aged scent. Inside, we had plenty of tapas and 8 variations of reds to choose from. The highlight for me was the 2020 Caillou Vineyard Syrah. The best way I could describe it was like having a savory marshmallow melt around your mouth and giving it a nice warm hug. On the other hand, the Bionic Frog Syrah, which was pure concentrated Syrah, was too strong a flavor for me and tasted like vomit. I honestly couldn't stand more than a sip of that. There was also a Horsepower Syrah from Triple Vineyards, where the ground is cultivated by horses. However, it felt more hype as the flavor was nothing to write home about. We were given a parting box of chocolates while Lufus picked up his wine. Next stop was lunch at Valdemar, but we were early by an hour, so we had to make a beeline to the Sleight of Hand. This quaint establishment was a delight, filled with records as far as the eye can see, and leaned heavily into the showman motif. Wine tasting allowed you to even pick a record to play, so we enjoyed several pours to the tune of Princess Paisley Park. All of the drinks that were offered were a lot sweeter than expected, from the very tart, or rather dry rosé, to a sour candy Riesling, a Chardonnay that flowed with a vanilla aroma, to very richly flavored reds, one of which presented by Neil Patrick Harris. To say that this was my favorite winery is an understatement. By this point, even though I was drinking about 2 cups of water for every cup of wine, I was feeling the booze and definitely needed food. Thankfully, it was time for our reservation at Valdemar. Valdemar is a relatively new winery, well, new to the United States. The winery has been in Spain for generations and has recently set up shop here in Washington. But because of this, there really isn't much in the way of locally cultivated vintages, but we're not here for the drinks. The food menu comprised of Spanish-inspired tapas, from charcuteries to these tasty roasted vegetables, which I forgot the name of. It was all delicious. And with a view like this, what could be any better? Once we were all filled up, it was time to resume our tastings with Tranche, which we had some trouble actually finding. At this point, all wines started to, pardon the pun, blend together, and it became harder and harder to discern one from each other. The best pour from Tranche, the 2019 Cabernet Sauvignon. And honestly, I can't tell you why at this point. I kind of really forgot. It tasted nice. Which brings me to the last tasting that we've done. Back in downtown Walla Walla, Contos. I really don't know what to say here. All the wines tasted good. My taste buds and mind were numb at this point, and it was nothing to write home about, but nothing to complain about either. And I guess that's a good way to end the tour. Foxpresso at home here. I do want to say that I had a lot of fun checking out the wineries, and I'm very grateful for Lufus Raccoon giving me this opportunity. I've always wanted to do some tasting, and I've never been to Eastern Washington since moving up to Seattle. That in itself was a huge contrast. I couldn't believe I was in the same state. I will say that based on my experience, it's best to limit yourself to around 3 vineyards, maybe 4 max. After lunch, the rest of the tasting felt like drinking around the world at Epcot, but limiting yourself to just wine, and it just kind of like became very repetitive. I mean, it's not a bad thing, and a lot of the pours are worth checking out, and I would definitely love to try Sleight of Hand again, especially since they have a local seller in Seattle. Thanks for enjoying this vlog, by the way. Do you like videos like this? I'm looking at possibly doing more in the future once I get more experiences. So, any feedback is appreciated. Special thanks to my lovely Foxpresso Coffee Club members, especially Lufus Raccoon. All Coffee Club members get to see an extended cut of this video with more candid reviews of the wines I tried. If you like this, be sure to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And until next time, yep!